Hi everybody, I hope that you all enjoyed your spring breaks as much as you could under these circumstances. And I am making this video to explain Essay 2 and hopefully answer some of the questions that you have. I will go through the week 9, I believe it was, discussion post and answer those questions there too, so keep checking that, and if you do come across more questions, please ask them there. But hopefully this video will answer quite a few of those questions. So the purpose of this assignment is for you to analyze rhetoric being used on opposing sides to an argument, not to present your own argument. So you'll have your issue, you have a source that represents one side of the argument, and you will take a source that represents the other side of the argument and compare the rhetoric in those sources. So you can take part of what you've written in each of the source analyses. If you use the source that represents one side and use the source that represents the other side, then you have quite a bit of writing that you can already use. You just have to add to whatever appeals are missing, and you need to write more to connect the sources together. Because just copying and pasting the two source analysis together isn't enough to create a coherent essay. So you'll take your you'll take one side of the argument looking at one source and look at how it uses ethos, pathos, kairos, and logos in respect to its purpose, and then you'll look at the other side of the argument using your other source and look at ethos, pathos, kairos, logos in terms of its purpose, and then compare the two together. I will post a sample essay online with comments on it. If you can't see any comments, please let me know, but I think I found a setting where you should be able to see the comments I make. I'll also post a few different outlines you can use to approach writing your essay so that it's not just intro, side A, side B, conclusion. You can kind of mix it up a little bit to make it less monotonous when you're writing. For the style guides, I don't mind which ones you use, but I do encourage you to use one. If you're using if you're in a scientific major, you're more like you're likely to use APA. If you're in a literature or a humanities major, then you'll use MLA. And if you're in more of a historical or like journalism, world studies major, then you're more likely to use Chicago. But I would double check to see what your area uses. I'm not going to be checking to make sure it's perfect, but I do want you to use some kind of citation guide to get you into the habit of using one. Because posting a link after a quote takes up too much space, and it doesn't help me quickly see who you're citing. You do need to use at least two sources, one for each side of the argument, but if your issue has more than two sides, then you are more than welcome to include the multiple sides, and you are not limited to word count. If you want to expand this essay, you can, and there's no minimum either. Just make sure that you say everything that there is to say about your issue and the different arguments being made about your issue. I think that's all I have. Hopefully I answered some of your questions. Just to recap, this is a research and analysis paper. You will take a source that represents one side of an issue and take another source that represents the other side of an issue and compare how each uses rhetoric. Kind of how we did those different activities where you looked at one or two sources and looked at how each of them used ethos or how each of them used logos and compared them to each other that way. So you'll be doing the same kind of work in your second essay. And you can use the quote sandwich activity. If you did a quote there, you can use that in your second essay. You can use writing from your source analyses in your second essay. So hopefully you have chunks of writing that you can piece together for your rough draft. Your rough draft is due on Canvas. I have peer review groups that will be online. So when you submit your essay, you'll be given essays that you have to read. I'm not sure how Canvas does it, but we'll figure it out together. And that's all I have for right now. If you still have questions, please let me know. I'm here to help as best as I can. I'm not going anywhere, so I will be by my phone, be by my laptop. If you want to email me, I should be able to respond fairly quickly. I hope that you guys are all healthy and safe, and till the next time, bye.